I really go down a rabbit hole sometimes because had I graduated law school 5 years later,
Yeah.
I'm not in the mix.
Yeah.
5 years earlier, I don't make a living.
The timing was really good for
Like,
you.
honestly, like if you look back on it, and however you want to look at it, man, some things were on my side, and I'm very blessed and grateful for that because there was a point in 2011 where I was about to hang it up. You know, I was frustrated. I'm working tables at Outback.
Yeah.
I see my friends with nice cars, nice condos. They're already second, third year in their law firms, and I'm over here living with mom and dad, you know, and then finally the Fox deal hits. Then I get my first guy in the UFC. He does very well, carries a torch for me, and it takes off. But
That's crazy.
But you have to think like, man, I got in at the right time, right?
Yeah.
If Jiva was now, can you imagine?
If Jiva came
was
along
winning
now,
all those jiu-jitsu tournaments and winning all these medals that he won, now in a social media era where it gets all the, I mean,
he would be a top 10 fighter right now if he were at his prime right now.
yes.
I mean, at his weight class, he would be incredible. Like
Yes.
I've watched his matches, and he could strike too. Like he had everything.
He did.
And it kind of blew me away. It made me a little bit sad, to be honest, to see it. Granted, Jiva's done very well for himself in jiu-jitsu, and he's.
But he definitely paved the way, right? He definitely opened the doors for young men like me at that time, right?
For sure.
And I had no idea. Oh, you're entering the right time. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're on Spike. There's a few shows. How many UFC fighters were there back then? 100, 120? I don't know.
I mean,
much,
that's
right?
hard to know because when you started this, LeRon was, you got $50 for LeRon. And that was what, 2007, 2008?
That's 2009.
2009. So you're 2 years into this, looking at your friends in law school and still trying to figure out how to make ends meet type thing.
Yep. I'll never forget it. It was right before Valentine's Day, 2011. And I think my overhead that month was $1,200, and I couldn't come up with it. And I had to ask my dad to borrow money, and it broke me. I was like, man, I'm asking my dad for money. This is going to kill me. And I was like, man, I'm done, Dad. I'm out. I'm going to get a job. And my dad's like, nah, dude, don't worry about it. Like, I can spot shoot. It's no big deal. I'm like, Dad, this is embarrassing. I'm 7 years of school.
Yeah.
I was a very good student. I had straight A's all through high school. I mean, I'm a very good student. Like, this is a joke. I passed the bar in the first try. Like, I could be doing so much more. Kind of like, you know, like, I'm taking your father's education is like, this should have brought me more.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I'm done. My dad's like, hang in there. Literally, this is Sunday. Monday morning. And I've been emailing Sean Shelby every Monday since August of 2010 about Ruben Duran. Not one response. Not a got it. Not a K.
That's crazy.
Not, hey, I see you. Nothing.
Yeah.
Just ignored. Which is fine. I know. He's one of my best friends. I love him. But at the time, I was like, he doesn't know me. I'm a young kid.
Yeah.
He responds and he goes, what is Ruben Duran doing? Like a dork, I'm like, waiting for your call, sir. You know, I'm so excited. I'm like, I'm waiting for your call.
Negotiation comes down the road. This is a skill
And so I called Ruben. I was like, dude, Sean just asked me, what are you up to? And he goes, I'm waiting to fight. That's what I told him. He hits me up like 3 hours later, like the longest 3 hours of my life. Okay, he can fight, you know, March 3rd in Kentucky against Takei Mizugaki. I'm like, done, sold, take it. Like, greatest moment of my life.
I mean, that is there's some commonalities between entrepreneurs that reach your level of success. And the one thing that I've heard repeatedly is the breaking point where there's this moment where almost everybody walks away, is about to walk away at them, like right before success is about to
right before it.
And I wonder like how many people actually walk away just before that moment of actually hitting it.
There has to be a lot because I'm not embarrassed to tell you this. Like I was done. Like I didn't have enough money to take my girlfriend at the time to a Valentine's dinner. Like it was, the frustration was there.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm over this. I cannot, like, this is so frustrating. Like I'm serving tables at night. People are talking down to me. I probably have more education than some of these people, and they're being so disrespectful to me. Like, not that matters, but you know, when you're young, you think like that a little bit, right? You're like, this is
plays
like,
a part, man.
Yeah, you're like, this is so frustrating. Like, I'm tired of this. Like, sir, I didn't cook the steak. I'll gladly get it fixed for you. I'm so sorry. Like, what am I doing? That's why I'm always nice to service now.
You have a law degree when you're doing this, and you pass the bar.
Yeah. And you know, to further what you're saying, Ruben was a game changer for me. If he doesn't go out there and lay it down that night, like he did, Sean doesn't go, who else do you got? Well, I got Bobby Green. Well, I got Ian McCall. Well, I got Eddie Yoggin. I got Francisco Rivera, and that first generation that paved the road for me. So I always try and tell Ruben, like, bro, you changed my life. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I got you the opportunity, but you went in there and you fought like there's one slot left on Noah's Ark and you were trying to get it.
When you mentioned there was multiple times where you almost walked away, what was it that was kind of holding you there? Your father was one.
Yeah, Jeremy Lukow is my best friend, and he's my partner in this whole thing. He kind of kept me aligned a couple of times. Like there was one time I remember it was 2012, and so we finally had a couple UFC fighters, right? Because 2011 was the first time, and I was in Vegas for like a MMA summit, and my dad was with the accountant doing our taxes, and he calls me and he goes like, "Hey, you owe like $6,000 in taxes." I'm like, "Dad, I only have $3,000." Like,
Yeah.
I rearranged a hotel room that night. I was so freaking mad. I was like, I am done. I finally make a little bit of money, not to give it all back. Like, and I was like, I quit. I'm done. I'm gonna go be a cop. I'm over this.
Yeah.
And Jeremy was just sitting there. He's like, bro, you ain't going anywhere. What are you doing? You know, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Bull Durham.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a part in there where Kevin Costner, right? Like he gets demoted to single A baseball, and he walks into the manager's office. He goes, you know, F this effing game. I'm so done with this crap. I'm over this. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm quitting. He walks out, closes the door. It's like a see-through door, right? There's a window right there, and he's like talking to himself, and he walks back and he goes, "What time's batting practice tomorrow?" Like,
I do remember that.
That's kind of what that's how I could really just like how I was that day. You know, I was saying it, but I was like, "You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're never leaving this game." But yeah, I don't think really 2017 was the first year that we were making money. Like that's 8 years. 8 years.
8 years is gnarly. Had the people around you been a little bit more pessimistic and said, yeah, it's probably time for you to move on, do you think you would have, or did you have enough love for this thing that you would have stuck with it?
I don't think I ever could leave. Your blessing is your curse, and my curse is I don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
That's
Well, you have an intrinsic love of MMA and fighting too.
And the thing is too, you could never leave their relationships. Like even now, like if I got offered, I don't know, it'd be hard to leave the guys. You've been on this journey, like the Bobby Greens, the Rubens, all the guys you've been, the Cheeto Veras, the Alex Perez's, the Brandon Royvals, Brandon Moran, all these guys, right? It'd be hard to leave the journey that you're on with them. Like it's so fulfilling and rewarding. It couldn't happen. I mean, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. Once again, that goes back to who you are. I mean, this takes me back to your childhood. It takes me back to your best friend turned brother.
Yeah.
And then all the kids that came through and prepping you to like make differences in people's lives. It's very interesting. You found a career, you've created a career that very much lines up with your values as a person.
Yeah.
So that's fascinating. What does today look like though? So managing now Iridium today, how does that compare to those early years? I mean, we know what the early years are.
You know, it's funny you say this because I feel like one of my words for the year is perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I do lose perspective. I'll be honest with you. You know, you could have 5 clients on a card and one loses and I'm up in fits about the one guy lost. I hurt for him. My heart breaks for him because I know how much he put into it, he or she. And then there's times I have to think like, man, remember when you didn't even have 5 clients, let alone 5 UFC clients?
You have 4 fighters this weekend.
Yes. And so sometimes you have to keep perspective. And right now, really what it's about is I look at this and I said, okay, we're doing good, but anyone can do good for a year or two. Now it's about seeing if we can create a legacy.
Yeah.
Now you want to be John Wooden, right? And win 10 national titles. You want to be Coach Krzyzewski from Duke basketball and do it right. You want to be Dan Gable. And when I say do it right, sir, I mean in every area of your life. Like you look at Coach Krzyzewski, he's never had a scandal in his personal life. He's married, beautiful daughters. How many lives has he impacted at Duke basketball? Hundreds of thousands, right? Changed those young men's lives. He's done it right. He's got a respectable name. He's done it the right way. No NCAA violations. No anything. That's what I want to do. Now it's time to run a decade to help keep uplifting my team at Iridium, and then also all the athletes as well.
Yeah.
And to develop them. And that's awesome, right? So we have like Jacob Parker, right? He's 25 years old. He went to my college. That's how I met him. He's handling our marketing. Like to develop a young man now in this business, it's like it's the next step, right, in your evolution. Now that you're building within now. Now you're not just building your clientele. You're building your team within. It's an amazing. And every time he does something or he's going through some life, I'm like, oh, I remember that. I was there.
Yeah.